What's going on? Welcome back down to Ice Level, everybody. As always, I am your very excited for these postseason field host, James Blennau. This weekend, we got a chance to crown all 6 conference champions on the men's side, a national champion in the women's Frozen Four, and we found out the 16-team tournament field on Sunday. So let's get right into the news.
In the NCHC, North Dakota is firing head coach Brad Berry after 10 seasons. The firing comes just days after what for the program seemed like a disappointing loss to Western Michigan in the Frozen Face-Off semifinals. Berry is a 2016 national champion and multi-time conference champion with his alma mater, the Fighting Hawks. Berry originally took over the head job when then head coach Dave Hackstall left for the NHL before the 2015-16 season and was promoted from his spot as an assistant coach. Berry had 1 year left on his contract prior to this decision. Athletic director Bill Chaves now begins the search for a head coach who will help, quote, move in a new direction for UND hockey. In the Hockey East, Northeastern's Jackson Dorrington is signing a 3-year entry-level contract with the New York Rangers. Dorrington spent 3 years with the Huskies and scored 15 points as a blue liner this year. He was also one of Northeastern's top shot blockers this season, blocking 73 in 37 games. The junior defenseman was part of the Huskies' near Cinderella run in the Hockey East tournament, winning a game at number 1 seeded BC and losing in double overtime to now champions Maine. Dorrington will now report to the Rangers' AHL affiliate, the Hartford Wolfpack, on an amateur tryout for the remainder of this season. In the women's Frozen Four from Minneapolis, the top 2 teams moved on from the semifinals as Ohio State took down Cornell 4-2 with the help of Joy Dunn's 2-goal performance, and Wisconsin beat the hosts Minnesota in a dominant 6-2 win, with Layla Edwards scoring a hat trick and Patty Kazmaier finalist Caroline Harvey adding 4 points. In the championship game, the Badgers avenged their early season loss in comeback fashion, beating the Buckeyes 4-3 in overtime. Despite the Buckeyes' 3-2 lead after 2 periods, a late Kirsten Sims penalty shot, which if you haven't seen, go look at it now and come back to this episode, brought it to a tie game with 18 seconds before the end. In overtime, it was Sims again answering the call for the Badgers just before 3 minutes passed and ending it for the Badgers, ripping a shot past Amanda Thiele, winning Wisconsin's record-breaking 8th national championship. Our first conference championship goes to Bentley as they took down Holy Cross on the road in a dominant 6-3 performance to win Atlantic Hockey America. They earned their first ever NCAA Tournament appearance from a balanced offensive performance against the Crusaders, and by pairwise rankings will enter as the last overall seed. As we take a look at the rest of the bracket, Bentley taking down Holy Cross 6-3 after sweeping Sacred Heart and sweeping Canisius on their way to their first conference championship. In the Big Ten, Michigan State makes it back-to-back. The regular season Big Ten champions won their second tournament championship in a row with a double overtime win over Ohio State at home in East Lansing. Isaac Howard's 2-goal performance, including the game winner, helped carry Sparty over the line as their NCAA tournament bid is set in stone and their pairwise ranking solidifies with the win over Ohio State. Our final bracket solidifies with Michigan State's win over Ohio State after beating Notre Dame, Ohio State beating Penn State, and Wisconsin on the way there, and we now wait for the Big Ten's selection in the NCAA tournament. We knew they'd already be in the tournament, but it's 2 trophies for the Mavericks now. Minnesota State wins the Mason Cup with its win over St. Thomas, its 3rd in 4 seasons. Mike Richter Award finalist Alex Tracy finished with 29 saves on the day, with Minnesota transfer Rhett Pitlick putting up 2 assists in the win to earn yet another conference championship at home in Mankato. Mavericks with sweep or shutout wins in almost all of their games going up to the win over St. Thomas. St. Thomas with the sweep over Ferris State and the win over Bowling Green to get there, but no chance of making the tournament since they aren't eligible yet and are still in their transition period. Our first conference with semifinals and finals this weekend, Cornell takes home yet another Whitelaw Cup after wins over Quinnipiac in the semifinals and Clarkson in the final to win ECAC hockey's postseason. The Big Red continue their season, extending it with the second NCAA tournament bid for this conference this year and giving head coach Mike Schaefer one last tournament appearance before he retires at the end of this season. As we take a look at the rest of the bracket, Clarkson earning their spot in the championship after a 4-1 win over Dartmouth, and Cornell earning their spot after a 3-2 overtime win over Quinnipiac. With the semifinals and finals at TD Garden this weekend, it was busy for the Hockey East, but Maine wins its first tournament championship since 2004 with a double overtime win over Northeastern in the semifinals and a dominant 5-2 win over UConn in the final. Mike Richter Award finalist and my favorite for the award, Albin Boya, saved 60 shots across both games to lead the Black Bears to the tournament title and another trophy back in Orono. Their opponents, UConn, coming off wins over Providence and BU, but just not enough gas to take it to the championship. But they will likely make it to the tournament as an at-large bid. Our highlight this week takes us to the NCHC as Denver takes on Western Michigan in the final Frozen Face-Off at Xcel Energy Center. The championship game with Western as the 1 seed. We start in the second period halfway through. Denver up 2-0. Zeev Boyum slices through 2 defenders and rifles one from the slot. It's 3-0 Pioneers after a rocket from the star defenseman. In the third period, 3 minutes in, Zach Sharp takes the pass from Liam Valente on a one-timer past Matt Davis, and the Broncos are still alive in the third. And with 7 to go, off the face-off, it's Alex Bump, and all of a sudden we have a game from the bumper. The Mike Bossy play goes far side on Matt Davis. It's 3-2 Pios. With under 4 minutes left, Tim Washi from almost the blue line fires it in. It goes off the glove. The captain ties it at 3 for the Broncos. 1 overtime was not enough. We go to double. The first minute, Alex Bump on the wall wins a puck battle, goes through a defender, and Davison wins it. The last call in St. Paul, answered by Western Michigan in double OT. Broncos win the Frozen Face-Off for the first time ever. Let's take a look at how these two teams got to this point in the bracket. Denver reaches the final by beating Arizona State 4-2 in their semifinal matchup, and Western Michigan with the same score against North Dakota. North Dakota firing head coach Brad Berry just a few days after that game.
The Ice Level podcast is sponsored by Best Damn Tape. Best Damn Tape's mission is to supply the most affordable and elite level sports tape to athletes worldwide. You can go to bestdamntape.com and use code DanKShow40, that's DanKShow40, to get 40% off your order. Go to bestdamntape.com and order your clear tape, your black and white tape, scented stick wax, and more.
The NCAA bracket is here. We start in Manchester, New Hampshire with the 1 seed Boston College playing Bentley on Friday, March 28th at 2 p.m. on ESPNU, and Providence taking on Denver on March 28th at 5:30 on ESPN+, with the winner playing Sunday at either 4:30 or 7 on ESPN2. In Toledo, Michigan State, the 2 seed takes on Cornell on Thursday, March 27th at 5:30 on ESPN+, and Boston U takes on Ohio State on Thursday, March 27th at 2 p.m. on ESPNU, with the winner playing on Saturday the 29th at either 4 or 6:30 on ESPNU. In Allentown, Pennsylvania, the 3 seed Maine takes on the hosts Penn State on Friday, March 28th at 8:30 p.m. on ESPN2, and UConn takes on Quinnipiac for the second time this season on the 28th at 5 p.m. on ESPNU, with the winner playing on Sunday, March 30th at either 4:30 or 7 on ESPN2. And the 4 seed Western Michigan in Fargo, North Dakota takes on Minnesota State on Thursday the 27th at 5 p.m. on ESPNU, while Minnesota takes on UMass on Thursday the 27th at 8:30 on ESPN2, and the winner playing on Saturday at either 4 or 6:30 on ESPNU. All regional winners will move on to the Frozen Four, and we will go from there.
That's all for Ice Level this week. For all you guys who have been watching or listening since the very beginning of this season, I want to thank you for sticking with Ice Level for your hockey coverage throughout the year. It's been a lot of fun making this, and I cannot wait to see what we can do in the next few years. As always, I'm James Blennau, and we're not experts, but it takes fans to grow the game. I'll see you when we find out who is going to St. Louis for the Frozen Four.